All right, let's dive into some bold success strategies. We're taking a look at Think Big and Kick Ass in Business and Life by Donald Trump and Bill Zanker. It's actually a Spanish translation of the book. You know Trump, of course.
Yeah.
But Zanker, the founder of the Learning Annex, well, he gives us a really interesting perspective here. It's like getting a behind-the-scenes look at Trump's world and how his ideas were used to create a massive business.
Yeah, and what's cool is Zanker really positions this book as like his take on Trump's success philosophy. He doesn't just like lay out these principles. He shows how he put them into action in his own life.
And it starts strong right out the gate with this whole think big mentality. It's not just goal setting. It's a total shift in perspective. Zanker learned from Trump that it's about breaking free from limitations and just boldly going after what you want.
He has this great story about the Learning Annex's first Wealth Expo. He had promised Trump 10,000 attendees, which was a big goal in itself. But the event ended up attracting over 31,000 people. And that just solidified Zanker's belief in setting these really ambitious goals.
It's incredible. And thinking big, it goes hand in hand with trusting your instincts too, right?
Oh, totally.
Zanker talks about Trump buying 40 Wall Street, this massive skyscraper in New York. Everyone told him it was a terrible idea.
Oh, wow.
And Trump followed his gut, bought the building, and it's a huge success. But then that makes you wonder, how do we balance listening to our gut with making these like smart, calculated decisions?
That is the question, isn't it? I think Zanker would argue that. You have to develop your intuition, especially when it comes to business. But he also really stresses the need to have this deep knowledge in your field. So your gut feeling should be based on experience and understanding, not just like blind leaps of faith.
So it's like having the courage to follow those instincts.
Yeah.
But backing them up with informed decision making.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what about luck? Because we hear that word thrown around a lot. When people talk about success,
Zanker actually acknowledges that luck exists, but he says that hard work increases your chances of good fortune. Like he quotes golfer Gary Player, who famously said, "The harder I work, the luckier I get."
I love that quote. And that reminds me of Zanker's relentless pursuit of speakers for the Learning Annex. Like he sent flowers to retail legend Murray Klein every day for 9 days until Klein agreed to teach a class.
Wow.
And then his persistence with Sharon Lechter, the co-author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's remarkable. He called her office every day for 3 months.
He just didn't give up.
It seems like that unwavering dedication is a common thread in a lot of his success stories.
Absolutely. It shows his belief in persistent action. You know, it's interesting, though. He contrasts these experiences with what he sees as a lack of grit in younger generations. He tells the story about Michelle, this young employee who quit because the job was too hard. And this kind of sparked a concern in Zanker about this gimme attitude and the desire for instant gratification.
It's fascinating. He sees this disconnect between the hard work and dedication required for long-term success and then the instant results that a lot of people seem to expect today.
Yeah, exactly. I think he sees figures like Steve Jobs, you know, who revolutionized technology with Apple as examples of this. Focused passion and consistent effort.
Yeah.
He highlights how this dedication, combined with a love for their work, was critical to their success.
It makes you wonder, are we pursuing work that really excites us? Because Zanker really believes that. Passion fuels success.
Yeah.
He even shares an anecdote about Trump's friend, Stan, who was totally miserable on Wall Street. But then he thrived managing a golf course renovation.
So different.
It just reinforces that idea that when you love what you do, achieving those big dreams becomes more fulfilling.
Yeah, for sure. But he also emphasizes the importance of preparation and focus, too. You know, he describes the meticulous research and planning. That goes into his books and events. He's saying that success isn't just about having these brilliant ideas. It's about putting in the groundwork to make those ideas a reality.
So it's that combination of powerful mindset and taking calculated action.
Exactly. You know, his thinking about hiring has even changed. He used to believe in getting the best people and trusting them. But his view has evolved. Now he says, get the best people and don't trust them.
That's a pretty big shift. It suggests a much more guarded approach to business.
Yeah, he's become wary of potential betrayals and emphasizes protecting yourself.
That makes sense.
But it's not to say he doesn't value loyalty. In fact, Zanker really rewards those employees who show unwavering dedication to him and his company.
So it's like there's a balance between protecting yourself and fostering strong, loyal relationships.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Now, this next part might surprise you. Both Zanker and Trump, they firmly believe in responding forcefully to those who wrong you. Zanker shares a story about a speaker who canceled on him last minute, leaving him in a really tough spot.
Oh, no.
So what did he do? He publicly called out the speaker and encouraged his audience to demand refunds. He even admits to keeping a list of people who've wronged him,
Really?
waiting for the right moment to even the score.
Wow, so they believe in standing your ground and not letting anyone take advantage of you.
Yes, and it actually ties into their focus on projecting an image of success. Zanker talks about how appearance and confidence are a part of that think big attitude.
He suggests investing in quality items, even if you're on a budget, to project an image of success and power. He even says that successful men often attract partners who value those traits.
Interesting. So Zanker believes that outward appearance can actually influence how others perceive you.
And treat you.
Right. And this actually connects back to a pretty pivotal moment in Trump's career. Do you remember his financial struggles in the 90s when he almost went bankrupt?
Oh, yeah.
Zanker uses this experience to illustrate the importance of never losing sight of your goals, even when things get really tough.
It's about maintaining that focus and determination, no matter what obstacles you face.
And he brings up another great example, tennis star Andre Agassi. Agassi's father instilled in him a really rigorous training regimen from a very young age. And this intense focus and dedication played a huge role in Agassi's success. So both Trump and Agassi's stories really underscore the importance of discipline and unwavering commitment to your goals.
Right, and Zanker actually takes this even further, into personal relationships. He advocates for prenuptial agreements as a way to protect your finances, no matter how in love you are.
It's a practical, but maybe a little bit jarring reminder to safeguard your assets, even in matters of the heart. I've got to say, Zanker's views are definitely thought-provoking. But what about the Learning Annex itself? He built this successful business that's focused on education.
That's a great point. He actually dedicates a large portion of the book to highlighting the Learning Annex's impact on students' lives. He includes all these testimonials from people who credit the program with helping them achieve their goals.
So he sees it as more than just a business. It's a platform for empowering people to learn and grow.
Exactly. And it aligns with his belief in the power of education. He really encourages continuous learning, seeking knowledge, embracing new experiences. He even includes a section where Trump answers questions from Learning Annex students on topics like real estate and negotiation.
It's like getting a masterclass in business.
Yeah.
From one of the most well-known entrepreneurs. So far, we've uncovered a lot about Zanker's approach to success, thinking big, trusting your gut, persisting through challenges, and never losing sight of your goals.
But we've only scratched the surface.
That's right. We'll continue to delve into these principles and more in the next part of our deep dive.
You know, it's funny. This idea of projecting an image of success keeps coming up. Zanker even talks about how during tough financial times, he would always carry a large amount of cash.
Like it was more than appearances, almost a psychological strategy.
Yeah, like a self-fulfilling prophecy. By believing in your success and projecting that image, you might actually increase your chances of achieving it.
It speaks to the power of mindset and how it can really influence your actions and outcomes.
Totally. And he also talks about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. He says that his relationships with successful people, like Trump and former Morgan Stanley CEO John Mack, really shaped his journey.
Yeah, he even offers advice on networking and building connections with high achievers, saying that you should surround yourself with success to breed success.
It's like tapping into this collective energy, learning from those who have already been there, but he also doesn't shy away from learning from mistakes, both your own and those of others. He says that even the most successful people make bad decisions.
They're human.
The key is to analyze those mistakes and not repeat them.
He has this great quote, you're going to make mistakes, no matter how talented you are. The key is not to let those mistakes ruin your life.
I like that. And he speaks from experience. He talks about his own near bankruptcy in the 90s, attributing it partly to losing focus and letting his ego get the better of him.
He got caught up in the hype after that magazine article.
Oh, yeah.
The one that said everything he touched turned to gold.
Right. And that led him to make some risky choices. That didn't work out.
So his takeaway is, don't let setbacks define you.
He bounced back, learned from his errors, and rebuilt his empire.
It's such an important lesson. Setbacks are inevitable.
For sure.
But resilience is key.
Yeah. It's amazing, though, how Zanker balances this, aggressive go-getter attitude with a genuine love for knowledge and education.
Yeah, he loves self-help books.
Yeah.
And celebrates how the Learning Annex has made a difference in people's lives.
Right. He shares all those stories of people who credit the program with giving them the skills and confidence to achieve their goals.
Whether that's starting a business, investing in real estate, or even pursuing a passion.
He emphasizes the importance of lifelong learning. It's not just about formal education. It's about constantly seeking new information and skills.
And he sees the Learning Annex as a tool to empower people, to take control of their lives and reach their potential.
And they offer such a range of courses,
From practical skills to personal development.
all taught by experts. He's really passionate about financial literacy, teaching people how to build wealth and achieve financial independence.
Which makes sense,
Okay.
given his own background.
Yeah.
And I love that he includes that section where Trump answers those student questions,
It's gold.
offering insights on everything, from real estate to negotiation.
It reinforces the idea that knowledge is power.
It
The more you learn, the better equipped you are to make good decisions.
Absolutely.
But Zanker doesn't stop there. He also talks about the importance of giving back. He highlights his own philanthropic work and encourages readers to make a positive impact on their communities.
So true success isn't just about personal gain. It's about using what you've learned and what you have to help others.
It's about leaving the world a better place.
As we go even further into this book, it's so clear that Zanker's approach to success is bold, unconventional, and even controversial at times.
Oh, yeah.
But there's just no denying his passion, his drive, and his belief in people and their ability to achieve great things.
He really challenges us to think bigger
To push those boundaries
and never settle.
for mediocrity,
He wants us to embrace risk
learn from failure
and cultivate a mindset of abundance.
and possibility.
I love that.
He reminds us that success is a journey,
It's not a destination.
and it's up to us to define what it means
And then create our own path.
to achieve it. Now, as we get ready to move into the final part of our deep dive, I want to shift gears a bit and focus on how these principles can be applied to your life. What can you take away from Zanker and Trump's philosophy and start using today? We've covered so much ground exploring Zanker's take on Trump's philosophy of success, but now it's time to bring it all home. How can we take these ideas and make them work in our own lives? Like starting right now.
I think one of the key takeaways here is that ambition needs action. You can't just think big and expect things to happen. You got to break down those big dreams into smaller steps and then actually do the work.
It's like those stories Zanker tells about chasing down speakers for the Learning Annex. He was relentless. He didn't just wait around. He took action, even when it meant getting uncomfortable.
Exactly. Success requires that kind of persistence, pushing through those obstacles, dealing with rejection, and getting back up when you face setbacks.
And talking about setbacks, remember Zanker's story about almost losing everything in that real estate crash in the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good reminder that challenges are going to happen,
They're a part of life.
but it's how you handle them that matters.
He didn't let that experience crush him. He learned from it and rebuilt his empire.
That's resilience.
You need that to succeed.
Zanker also talks a lot about trusting your gut, that inner voice
He believes everyone has that.
that can guide you to the right decisions.
It's about developing that intuition, combining it with experience and knowledge.
Finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
between planning and taking risks.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to make those big moves, but make sure they're informed decisions.
He also talks about the importance of building a strong team, people who share your vision, who are willing to put in the work.
You need that support system.
But he also gives this word of caution. Don't be naive.
Right. Not everyone's going to have your best interests at heart,
So you have to have trust, but also be smart.
especially in the business world.
Find that balance
Right.
between support and protecting yourself.
Makes sense.
So we've talked about ambition, drive, even a bit of ruthlessness.
Yeah.
But Zanker also emphasizes something else,
What's that?
finding work you truly love.
Oh, yeah.
He believes passion is what keeps you going
It's the fuel.
through the long hours,
Yeah.
the tough times, the inevitable setbacks.
When you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't feel like work.
It's fulfilling.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Zanker's perspective on success, we'll leave you with the question.
Okay.
What's one area in your life
Mm-hmm.
where you could start thinking bigger today?
What's that one dream? That goal you've been putting off? Or maybe it's your career, a personal project, a relationship.
Don't be afraid to dream big.
Set those big goals.
Believe in yourself
Take inspiration from Zanker and Trump.
and ask yourself, what can I do right now to move closer to that goal? even a small step.
Because the only limits are the ones we set for ourselves.
That's so true. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Think Big and Kick Ass. We hope you walk away with some great insights and are feeling ready to take on the world. Until next time.